Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Now before I get really crazy into this topic, I just want to apologize real quick. I'm very sleepy. I was up till 6 o'clock in the morning, which is rookie hours. I understand, rookie numbers. I apologize. But I was up till 6 o'clock in the morning because The Boys. Season 4, episode 8, that finally dropped. So, I want to talk about it a little bit. I will try not to spoil anything so we can both be engaged in this conversation. However, that might be a little difficult, so just in case, be prepared for some spoilers. I'm not going to say anything important. I'm just going to give my overall review of the new season. And just kind of talk about it a little bit. Now, traditionally, whenever a new season for a show comes out, I watch the first seasons again because I want to get re-caught up. But with The Boys, I kind of skydived into it, just being like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch all the new season, whatever. I forgot that the episodes come out once every week, so I was on episode 6, 7, and then I decided, I'm gonna go rewatch the entire Boys, all of it. So, on top of watching just season 4, like episode 1 through 6, I then went season 1 through season 4, caught up by the time I got to episode 8, and finished up on episode 7. Big recommendation before a huge chunk of review comes out my mouth. I really recommend going through and rewatching the show. I feel like that's a tradition that everyone should do, no matter how many seasons there are. If a new season comes out, you gotta catch up on the lore, especially because they will probably do a lot of callbacks, and I feel like this is one of those things that they do some callbacks to here and there. I think the plot points are very interesting. I do think that so far season 4 is probably one that I feel like has a little bit more midness in it. The last episode kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. It didn't give me exactly what I wanted, and I know that just sounds weird for me, but I feel like the last episode, it was kind of like, you know, I couldn't tell if everyone was winning. Like, this whole season, it was very interesting because it felt like they were trying to set up the boys to lose no matter what. And there are a lot of very good twists. Anthony Starr is amazing. All of the cast members are amazing, and there are some really interesting things that happen that I feel like are like, God damn, did I really just watch that with my eyes? I can't believe that. There's a scene where someone literally gets ripped apart, and I think it's such an important character that gets ripped apart. And it's very interesting how they do everything. The suspense that they build when Homelander just exists in this season, I feel like they do it very well. And I don't think there's a lot of shows, especially now, that have that level of like darkness with a little bit of humor, and like everything that could be a bad thing happens, and everything that could be a good thing happens. Like, a lot of things get confirmed and a lot of things are stopped, and it's very interesting how it all works together. Now, personally, if I had to give it a review, like I had to slap a number on it compared to every other season of The Boys, I don't think I could fairly give a review, just a number. I've seen every episode, you know, I've catched up on as much lore through the comics and whatever. I would say with this season, compared to the other ones, I feel like is one of the not greatest. I feel like they left a lot of questions, and like too many. They left too many questions. They left me with more questions in the end than I had in the other one. And I think whenever you leave something more open in the end, like you're not sure what's gonna happen, you're like, I have no idea what's about to happen this next season. Like, ooh, I wonder where they're gonna go now. This time, it was more of like, they have a specific direction I think they have to go. And that's what made season 3 good. I think that's what made season 1 good. And season 2, like all of the endings, they didn't have like a direction they were going. It was just, Homelander's going crazy. He can do some pretty crazy stuff. This person exists. I bet you didn't know that this person existed. What are they gonna do about that? But now it's kind of the way they end. I feel like if you see the ending, you'll kind of agree with me. They end it in a way where it's kind of like, that's not good. I don't like that. That's not too good. I'm not too sure why they did that. Now, of course, everyone's gonna have different opinions on the ending, and again, I would really like to hear what you guys thought about the season. I think that this is just a conversational piece. This is not word of law. You could totally disagree. In fact, I implore you to. I encourage it. I really like listening to other people's opinions in the comment sections. But I don't know, with the ending, it just felt like they didn't explain enough, and they didn't end it. They ended it with some pretty, I'm not saying the ending was bad. It was very interesting. It was a very interesting way to end something, but what I'm saying is, I'm worried on how they're gonna do the next season, because they have set it up for they easily set it up for a next season, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. But I think they set it up in such a way that you could probably piece together what's gonna happen, not like word for word verbatim, but you could kind of like you know some things that are gonna go down, you know some things that aren't gonna go down. So yeah, going back to my actual number rating though, I would probably give this, like, I think The Boys is just a really good show. Some people say it has like aspects of what would happen if this existed in the real world, and some people say that it's just very deep and dark and it's very interesting, and some people might even go as far as to say that this is one of like the best shows ever made, and some people just don't like the adaptation of evil superheroes. But I think The Boys itself, I can't rate the season. I want to rate the show. My rating for the show in total right now, with everything combined, I'm gonna give it an 8. I think an 8 out of 10 is pretty solid. I think the changes Starlight did to her, the character, the actress did for Starlight, it's very interesting because it kind of plays into it. I don't know if I'm the only person that kind of notices it, but Annie goes from kind of being like a pushover and then like not as much and more of like a thug. When Annie dropped in on that talk show, I was rooting for Annie. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to be vague. I'm trying to be as vague as possible, but also making references, just in case I'm either trying to encourage people to go watch it, or I'm trying to encourage people to just drop it and never watch it, ever, or not watch it, or just like agree with the things I'm saying, or not necessarily agree, but you know, be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So 8 out of 10 would be kind of my review for just The Boys in general. I think this next season is gonna be kind of like, I feel like they're gonna have to pull some really good stuff. Like, I'm thinking really, really deep. Like, I wouldn't say they have to hit a 10 out of 10, but they have to make everything that happened justified and make sense. Because in this season, and I know I kind of touched on it, and, you know, I want to kind of mention this again, it's kind of one of those, they do it in this way where it's like, everything bad that is supposed to happen, happens. But they do so much of it that it's just like, well, fuck, you know? Something good's kind of going away. Ah, fuck, well, that's not supposed to happen. All right, another one. Something good's kind of going, oh, fuck, that's not supposed to happen. And that's what the new season kind of feels like. And I hope I'm not the only person that kind of feels this way. So I really want to know in the comments below. Anyway, I think that that's going to kind of do it for this video. I hope that everyone I hope everyone enjoys the new season of The Boys as much as I did. Let me know what other shows you guys want to sit down and chit-chat about. I think The Boys is great. There's no reason not to watch it. If you have the opportunity to watch it and the resources to watch it, I think it definitely is really, it's worth the watch. It's worth the binge. The new season's completely out, all 8 episodes, so sit back, relax with your lady friend or your homeboys, or just by yourself in a room with a stuffed animal and watch that show. Anyway, don't forget to check out my links in the description below. I stream on twitch.tv/JohnTheYapper, and I also stream on YouTube. Sometimes my streams can get out of hand. I apologize. Don't forget to check out my Instagram and support the music, because as a commentary video, I typically add music. They do great work on their beats. I always use the same song, and I hope you guys can show it some love. Have a blessed rest of your day, everybody. Peace out.